I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to have this conversation with us. I am very much looking forward to learning a little bit more about your journey and your areas of expertise.
It's good to be here and looking forward to the conversation.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into it. So, can you take a moment to tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into the world of customer experience?
Yeah, so I guess my journey spans, best part of 18 years in the technology space. I wasn't by any stretch of the imagination a person that thought that when I left college I would end up in the technology space, but here we are, some 17 years later. So my life began back home in Australia, which is where I'm from originally, working for a customer that was doing an IT project, and I was actually sitting on the business side at that point. And then from there on, managed to get into the IT side of things. That was a CRM project back in the days of the old CRM systems. And then from there, it's my journey sort of taken me across multiple roles and geographies. And here I am stateside some 17 years later, looking at all things customer experience.
Wow. So, from Australia to Florida, that's quite a journey.
Yeah, it's when I move, I like to move far and wide. So this is just one of the many moves in my career.
Love it. Can you tell us about what your role is at CX100?
Yeah, so my role at CX100 is I'm a partner responsible for, I guess, what you would call CX strategy. And really what that means is that if you think of the CX portfolio or CX capabilities, they span multiple areas. And I guess my area of focus and expertise is really on the sales, service, and marketing side. On a day-to-day basis, I help customers with everything from, their digital strategy for those particular areas of focus, IT roadmaps, project delivery, pre-sale. So it's an all-encompassing role, but it's really focused on, helping our customers get the best value out of their investments in technology, particularly within the sales, service, and marketing space.
So, looking a little deeper into your specific areas of expertise, we often hear sales and service lumped together. Can you give us your take on how they are important to look at and prioritize on an individual level?
Yeah, it's a really good question, because a lot of our customers, I think, are slowly but surely getting to the point of understanding that those two areas of the business really need to work closely together. And obviously, from a technology standpoint, they need to have the right tools in place to be able to support that. But I guess the easiest way to look at that is to say, if you look at a CRM, it's really responsible for sort of analysing and prioritising your sales leads so that your sales team can focus on those highest value transactions, which are more likely to close, and being able to provide accurate answers to customers in the quickest and most efficient way. And your customer service team has the information they need for upselling. So if we look at what a sales team sort of does, a sales team is kind of responsible for looking at things like increasing customer satisfaction, reducing the cost and improving efficiency, and really sort of looking at it from a business agility and innovation standpoint, right? So they're the frontline people that are out talking to your customers, and they're the ones that really drive the value to the organization. And I think what we're seeing more now in the market is that the customer service or the service part of the business is equally as important. So sales is obviously ones that are out there generating the revenue and bringing in customers, and customer service people and the service area are ones that are responsible for nurturing that relationship, right? So if we have a sales team that's doing fantastically well and potentially a service organization that's not doing so well, then we're not actually getting the best experience from a customer standpoint. So it's nothing worse from a sales perspective to go to a customer and want to start selling the product, only to understand when you get there that they've got a bunch of complaints or something like that. So that's where sales and service need to work hand in hand, and we're seeing more so today than ever before that businesses are prioritizing those initiatives and together and jointly delivering that, so that they've got kind of the full view of everything that's going on across the organization with their customers.
So you kind of took my next question of what it looks like when these two actually work together. Would you say there are any additional points that you would want to share about what it specifically looks like when these two solutions come together to create truly the best customer experience?
Yeah, so I think when you combine both sales and service, and then when they work together cohesively and efficiently, both sales and customer service teams create a more comfortable, user-friendly buying experience. Sales teams are helping customers find products and services, and customer services making sure that their interactions with the business remain positive over time. And what this really means is that from a customer standpoint, the long-term customer satisfaction that generates from those interactions and those great experiences with a company, can lead to things like word of mouth referrals. More, and the other important thing to consider here is that we're faced with a great resignation that everybody hears around is on the back of the worldwide events that have happened in most recent times, right? And with the shifting technology landscape, brands that want to stand out from the crowd have to adapt quickly to deliver against their customer expectations. So from a technology standpoint, two critical elements of this transformation are the tools that we provide our sales and service organizations. So if we don't provide a holistic view of all of our customer interactions across both sales and service, then our customers' experience and our knowledge of our customer is compromised.
Would you say to brands not wanting to prioritize their sales and service initiatives?
So to take a fairly simplistic view of this, I think simply put, those organisations that aren't placing the customer at the centre of every interaction across both sales and service will be distinct into disadvantage, to their competitors. And I think what we're seeing in the marketplace is that more and more organisations are prioritising the importance of making sure that the customer is at the centre of every interaction across the enterprise, and whether it be sales and service, those departments must have a view of every interaction from a customer standpoint. So I think from that perspective, if they're not thinking about prioritising those initiatives within their organisation, then it's probably something that they might want to consider.
And last question, what would you like our viewers to walk away with today?
Yeah, so I think one important thing is that we're seeing a shift in customers and organizational perspective across from what was historically, a great customer experience. And that's kind of what we've focused on today in terms of the value that sales and service can deliver from a customer's experience. But I think what we're actually seeing towards is most organizations are moving towards what they call a total experience strategy. And what that aims to deliver is a superior experience for all of those who engage with your organization, whether they be customers, employees, partners, and so on. And how we do that is by breaking down the silos across the organisation to provide a better customer experience, a satisfying employee experience, and a smooth user experience across all devices and channels. And I think really what that means is that when you combine those three parts of your organisation, being people, processes, and technology, then from that perspective, those organisations who take a holistic view of all these things are the ones that are really sort of thriving in today's marketplace. So, from an organisational perspective, I'd encourage everybody to be thinking about whether they have the right tools or right systems in place, and if not, to address that.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights today. I look forward to potentially having some deeper conversations into some other areas of your expertise.
Thank you, and good to talk to you. I'll see you soon.